Monday Night Raw Hot Takes, where I take your thoughts, your opinions, your hot takes from the previous episode of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and or PLEs. Here's some rapid fire Thanksgiving hot takes for you. Thanksgiving, the better holiday than Christmas. Ham, the best Thanksgiving meat. I would rather have ham over turkey. However, turkey is the best Thanksgiving leftover. You put that on a sandwich, just turkey and mayo. Oh my gosh, hot or cold, the best sandwich of all time. And my final Thanksgiving hot take is Thanksgiving is not an excuse to neglect bacon. Always bacon all the time. Figure it out. Sprinkle bacon on the deviled eggs. I don't care. Get bacon on your Thanksgiving. Let's get started with hot takes. We got Dr. Exel Dragon. We owe Rollins an apology. The vision has been even less interesting with him gone. All right, so I'm going to say this. I like Seth Rollins. I like Braun Breaker. I like Bronson Reed. I like Paul Heyman. I don't even mind Logan Paul. But it is kind of less interesting now. But I don't think that's because Seth is gone. I honestly think it's because the vision is just not interesting. Think about this. When has the vision ever been just like super compelling and interesting? It was the moment Braun Breaker speared Roman Reigns after WrestleMania. It was when Seth Rollins faked an injury and Braun Breaker kind of stepped up to the plate. It was when Braun Breaker speared Seth Rollins. And every single time they've allowed Braun Breaker to take the kind of lead, they pull him back instantly. Braun Breaker spears Seth Rollins out of the vision, and then what? We just replace Seth with Logan Paul? I mean, it works, but I mean, does it? It's kind of like, it's like The Authority. If you are a longtime viewer, this reminds me of The Authority. The Authority worked. It got heat, but it was always trying to be the corporation in the Attitude Era. And it seems like the vision has always tried to be either trying to be Evolution or it was trying to be the Bloodline. But it was trying so hard to be both that it never got its own identity. Even their name, The Vision itself, they weren't named The Vision for like 3 months. It was like 2 or 3 weeks before SummerSlam that they became The Vision. Like, how is that even possible? Could you imagine if Hulk Hogan at Bash at the Beach had leg dropped the Macho Man, oh yeah, Randy Savage, and then he gets up, he's a heel now, you got Kevin Nash, Scott Hall behind him, and they don't say that they're the New World Order, the NWO, too sweet, for life, for 3 or 4 months? Like, this vision, it just, I don't know, it just, whatever the case may be, it just doesn't work together. And you might say, well, it was interesting when Seth Rollins, he did the heist of the century and he tricked CM Punk. Was that really the vision, though? Was that the vision, or was that the architect, Seth freaking Rollins? Because the vision had almost nothing to do with the ruse of the century. That was Seth Rollins individually. He didn't need the vision in order to make that plan and complete that plan. You get what I'm saying? He just did it on his own with a personal beef with CM Punk. One of the most interesting storylines of the Vision era was when Becky Lynch was slapping CM Punk. And when that happened, Becky and Seth went on their own. Again, not needing the vision. I argue that Bronson Reed, he just didn't ever need it. What about him elevating himself as the tribal thief, stealing Roman's shoes? Literally, Bronson Reed could have done what he did to Seth Rollins last year, where he just suddenly attacked Seth out of nowhere to make a name for himself. That's literally what Bronson Reed could have done to Roman Reigns. The vision was not needed for that. They've been saying that Braun Breaker has been a WrestleMania 48 main eventer for like 2 or 3 years now. So him joining the vision, that didn't suddenly put him on the map and now he's getting a rocket ship strapped to his back. No, they've been saying this already. So I would argue that he's pulled back since becoming part of the vision. So while, yes, maybe the vision was more interesting with Seth, it wasn't that much more interesting in my opinion. So all of that said, I think they should just break up the vision. I really do. You know what? I'm not going to say it was a bad idea, but I am going to say it's a bad idea to continue because I don't know. It never fully landed, and it's not interesting. I can't find where the comment is, but I know Judy Angela Jetson had mentioned something about how there was no women's match on SmackDown, and now there was no women's match on Raw, and how that is a travesty, and I agree. Same sentiment that I said on my SmackDown hot takes that I'm saying right now. Like, don't tell us that women's wrestling is important. Show us women's wrestling is important. Remember the hashtag give the divas a chance? That was because the divas were getting 3-minute matches. Well, at least they were getting matches back then. How about let's do a hashtag give the women wrestlers a chance in this day and age, because for some reason we've had 2 shows without one women's match. Come on, lame sauce. And before we do the next hot take, there is a Patreon channel. I do wrestling content daily, and unless I get 5,000 views per video come 2026, I might have to stop doing daily videos. But if we can build up the Patreon channel, I can offset that and continue. Because right now I'm losing money, to be honest with you. I don't live an extravagant life, but I do have bills I gotta pay. If you want to continue daily videos, please consider the Patreon, but I'm not going anywhere. I just might drop down to 3 videos a week in 2026 if I'm not able to either A, build up the YouTube channel, or B, build up the Patreon. So maybe consider it if you're able. All right, let's get to some other hot takes. We got your internet champion. Did anyone else see Brock slip and fall on his butt? Yes, we all saw it, and it was hilarious. We have Roman Reigns acknowledge me. Brock's promo with R-Truth in the ring rips his pants, and now this squashes Cena. I'm loving this Brock run. The R-Truth promo, that kind of went off the rails when I think Brock forgot what he was going to say. He rips his pants when he F5s R-Truth. Could you imagine if Jey Uso dared make any mistakes that Brock Lesnar is making right now? Holy cow. The internet would be killing him, would be ripping Jey to shreds. But when Brock Lesnar does it, it's like, that Brock. What a farmer. Mr. Dark Gable says, this show was chocked full of surprises. I see what you did there. We got Donatello Leonardo says, not a hot take, but TKO should write a blank check and have Roman take both belts at WrestleMania. Ooh, that's kind of a hot take, honestly. He also says, though, that he wants Roman to be on a full-time schedule. If Roman came back on a full-time schedule, I wouldn't mind him getting the belts. Bloodline was peak, and Roman has the sway backstage, the stroke, if you will, to make sure that his storylines are actually good and entertaining. He just doesn't work as a uber part-time character, but if he got both belts, I'm telling you, if they unify these belts again, they better never, ever split them or have 2. This is like the last chance for them to have 2 belts, because what is this, like the third time since WWE has bought WCW back in 2021 that we've tried 2 dual championships. So would I want Roman? Let's say Roman did come back. Roman will never be full-time, but if Roman could give us, like 40 to 50 dates a year, that would allow him like two Raws every month plus the PLE. I would actually be okay with that. You know what? At that point, go and break the Bruno Sammartino record, because I wouldn't mind. That's what I wouldn't mind, a long championship reign, because Roman knew how to do it well. Let's do Ron Talks Tabletop. As someone who came back to wrestling after a long hiatus 2 years ago, I don't get what the big deal is about Roman Reigns. I don't like the entrance music. I don't like the presentation. He's not around often enough for me to see who he really is, and I just find him boring. The problem with Roman right now is they don't ever let him speak. Even last night, he was about to talk, and then Cody came out. It's like one of the best attributes of the tribal chief version of Roman Reigns was his smack talk. How just confident he was in himself. Like, go watch some Bloodline Roman Reigns promos. Like, oh my gosh, he was so good. But you say you've only been watching for 2 years. That means WrestleMania, that means 2023. So you were on the tail end of Roman Reigns when he was really going down to a part-time schedule. I'm not gonna lie here, Roman Reigns' part-timeness, it really does hurt his character because he basically has to show up for like 2 weeks before a big event and then get written off immediately following the big event. So that I don't blame you. I don't blame you why you don't see the greatness that is Roman. But for people who didn't take a hiatus, and that's not a knock on you, for people who didn't take a hiatus, we had to trudge through a lot of crappy TV. 2019 was one of the worst ever. Then we go into the pandemic, which sucked, and Roman brought us out of that. So if you didn't experience Roman's transformation from the big dog, a crappy character, to what he became, I don't blame you. If you've only known Roman for 1 or 2 years, I could understand why you don't think he's that special. But if you did experience him through the transformation, you probably would be on board with him, like a lot of us are, because he is my tribal chief. Yeah, and what sucks is you could go back and watch his earlier stuff, but you won't get that same feeling as if you experienced it as it happened in real time. So unfortunately, Ron Talks Tabletop, I don't think there's going to be any real way to convince you that Roman is as good as we think he is, because you just had to be there. WTF Patch says, I just don't get why Roman doesn't get the mic often. I mean, I get more excited to see him cut a promo than a wrestling match. Yeah, it's insane. That's like his best attribute. I don't want to see Roman brawl anymore. I'm tired of Roman just brawling. Give him the mic. Just let him talk. The Absolute Advisor, Roman versus Punk. Yeah, was that a hint at WrestleMania? Yes, it was. That they're doing that. Kid Wilkes says Maxine Dupree was terrified of Ivy Nile. I don't blame her. I thought a ghost was out to take Maxine's soul when Ivy got on camera. I really hope so. They have history, but I really like Ivy Nile. I think she's very underrated. I really hope that they give her a good feud with Maxine. Alfonso Pasha says, my boy Penta, I feel for him. I wanted to see Penta versus Gunther again, and in WWE, dang it, we missed out. You know what's crazy? So first off, it sucks that Penta got injured. No matter what, I always place the health and well-being of the human over the character and the storylines. But that said, I guess the word on the street is Penta was always supposed to lose. Solo Sikoa was always supposed to win, which is a head-scratcher in that Solo is a heel and so is Gunther. So that's weird. But that said, it sucks. It does suck that Penta, win, lose, or draw, I did not want Penta. In no world would I want Penta to be injured, or any wrestler for that matter. It looks like the John Cena retirement tournament has taken out now Sheamus and Penta. So hopefully everybody else, hopefully we can keep safe for the rest of the tournament. Goat Buggy says, I have big respect for Carmelo Hayes for almost beating Gunther on Raw. He didn't. Oh, man, I was really rooting for Carmelo Hayes. I am a huge Gunther fan. Love Gunther. But I feel that Carmelo Hayes was the right call. Gunther's a very safe pick, but we don't need safe right now. We need to shake it up, and it would have been just so much better because the nature of which John Cena wants the last time, his last appearance on the Saturday Night Main Event, he wanted it to be all about showcasing the future. Well, Gunther's not the future. Gunther's the present, and that's not a bad thing. Gunther's established. He's already been a champion. Carmelo Hayes, though, under 35, he could be the future if we started investing in him. And what better way to invest in him than being John Cena's last match? Missed opportunity, and we can't go back. Fazer Poe, feel free to pronounce your name next time. Phonetically spell your name, because I butcher it every single time. I apologize, but War Games has to end with Braun spearing Brock out of his pants. He tried to little bro him after his fall. Braun can't let that slide. Yeah, after he fell, Brock Lesnar kind of laughed and put his hat on Braun Breaker. I think that was just a human reaction right there. But that said, yes, Braun Breaker should just spear him. He should spear Logan Paul, and then everybody should be laughing, including Brock, and then he should spear Brock Lesnar, and he should say, I'm no longer second fiddle to anybody. I am the next big thing. And then that could start their program all the way to WrestleMania. Because remember what I said in the beginning, the best part of the vision is when Braun Breaker takes the spotlight. David Luquar says, good show, and we get Gunther for Solo now? What am I thankful for? We really got a pinfall in the main event. He's thankful for the pinfall. Woohoo! And he wishes Penta a speedy recovery. I asked for people to what they're thankful for. That's tomorrow's video. That's the Thanksgiving video. So if you said what you're thankful for, I'll read those on Thanksgiving. Goat Buggy says, I feel like Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed have turned into sidekicks. Yep. Reina Rep says, there were definitely moments I thought Mello was going to win and really swerved the whole rumor of Gunther winning the whole thing. Still hate the new old music, but OMG, Brock took it like a champ though, but can't get over the fact that he split his pants not long ago, and now this. He needs to just turn face. Botch Lesnar, and oh man, I was really hoping I was wrong. I was really hoping that Mello was gonna win. That opportunity, we can't get it back. View Hexol says, having Mini Cena was a good callback to Cena versus Angle, one of my favorite segments ever, and they brought it back. Feels refreshing to have genuine laugh with some nostalgia. Yeah, some people didn't like it yesterday, so Dominic Mysterio brought a little person dressed out like John Cena. I called back that Bret Hart. There was a mini Bret Hart that Shawn Michaels brought out once. I was wrong, and Carmichael corrected me last night, so thank you. But I said originally 2005 that Shawn Michaels brought out a mini Bret Hart. He didn't. That was actually during the Attitude Era. I was wrong in that situation, but yeah, this is a trope that some people enjoy and some people don't. I actually thought it was funny. I liked it, but there's another wrestling channel, Assemble Wrestling. They did not like it. He wasn't crashing out on it, but he said that's not my type of humor. And you know what? Okay, that's the cool thing about YouTube. I respect his opinion. It's not for everybody, but he seems to respect my opinion that it is for some people. I thought it was funny, but I understand why people don't. And for the record, Assemble Wrestling doesn't know I'm mentioning him, but I just think it's cool that you can have different perspectives and still like be respectful of other people. But I can totally understand why some people didn't like that. It's very touchy. It could be a very touchy subject. Tracy Wood says, solid 10 out of 10 for tonight's show. It has been a hot minute since I've been interested in every single minute of this Raw. I actually did not think it was 10 out of 10, but oh my God, we're allowed to disagree, just like I said. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Maybe it was a 7. The thing that really soured me was A, no women's wrestling matches, and B, we literally repeated the same main event. But I don't want to yuck your yum. If you enjoyed it, please keep enjoying it. LT says, Becky Lynch is undeniably one of the greatest talkers on the mic. The promo where she's building up her team, but not as good as her, was amazing. Yeah, it was really funny. I don't like that Asuka's kind of taking a backseat. It kind of feels like they should have been kind of like dual captains or something, but it was funny. Every time she went to someone, she would talk them up and then be like, not as good as me, though. That Becky Lynch, great on the mic and one of the greatest, the greatest of all time, and that's not just me saying it. That's Sports Illustrated. Skywalker Trey says, Penta getting hurt breaks my heart. We were going to get Dirty Dom and El Grande versus Penta and Phoenix in AAA. Yeah, that really sucks. I was really hoping this was the beginning of the Lucha Brothers because they were going to go to AAA, the Mexican promotion that WWE owns, in December, announced and everything, and now I don't know. It's a separated shoulder. Separated shoulders can, literally, they can be whatever to surgery. So let's hope it's a whatever type of injury and not a surgery type of injury. Killer Wolf says, men's and women's war games look stacked. And Mini John was hilarious. Yes, they are stacked. The build has not been great, but but they are full to the brim of star power. Who do you guys and gals think will get the pin? Obviously, Jimmy gets the pin and Kyrie gets the pin. But if it's the women's face team, who gets the pin there, and who out of the villains on the men's team get the pin? Probably Logan Paul. It's the women face team that doesn't really have any weak links. So let me know in the comments below. Roman Reigns acknowledged me. Dom holding back his laughter, cutting the promo on Super Mini Cena was hilarious. Yeah. It was just it was just a very nostalgia thing for me, honestly. That was a throwback. When was the last time they did this? They did it with Cass, actually. Big Cass did it. He actually got in trouble. He actually got in trouble for actually attacking the little person. So it's I'm surprised that Triple H allowed it. I really think that there's going to be, eventually someone's going to get mad at this segment, and not mad, not in a way that's like, yeah, that's just not for me, but in a way that's saying that was disrespectful. So I'm just waiting for someone to say something, like mainstream media wise. Alfonso Pasha says, weird that Roman wants the secondary title he dismissed, but I dig it. He would actually look good with it, and I'm predicting it. Roman gets that secondary title, the world title, at WrestleMania. That would be a good way to get the belt back on Jay. Jay's never beaten Roman for a title, so I don't know, maybe we do that. Then Roman becomes the tribal elder, and Jay becomes the tribal chief. That would be a SummerSlam match right there, so I don't know. We'll see. Jimbo Slice says, when Punk asked if Roman was talking to him or Cody about which belt he was going to go after, he should have said both. The tribal chief is known for taking all the gold. Yeah, it probably should have said both. My fear is this. The WrestleMania main event has already been established. Punk versus Roman, Brock versus Cody. But if we want Brock versus Braun Breaker, then you do Cody, Punk, Roman, triple threat, winner take all. But like I already said, this has to be the last time we ever split the belts if we're gonna unify them, because it's just like every 10 years creating a new belt is kind of lame. Mr. Gray says the War Games could have been so stacked if it had been Rollins instead of Logan. Yeah, it would have been cool. It would have been cool, but c'est la vie. So unfortunately, Seth was hurt. That sucks. Goat Buggy says, I'm happy that the New Day are finally getting a tag team title shot, and I feel like Adam Pearce is always drunk on Raw because he always says he needs a drink after something crazy happens. As a GM also in my daily life, I don't blame him for drinking on the job. I don't do it, but maybe I should. No. But I don't blame him because, my employees make me go crazy too. But yes, thank God that the New Day get a championship match up next week, and fingers crossed they win. Zach Schultz says, Drew McIntyre bringing his kid to work for the main event. Somehow Drew and Logan Paul actually do work together, but I still wish they would have explained why they ever came together. Like, that's still a plot hole. And Founder says, the fact that Stu was being filmed effectively means that we had a cameraman recording a cameraman recording a cameraman recording a Mini Cena. You are absolutely right there. That's hilarious. The Dom segment, we had, there's this little Stu, big Stu, and then someone filming Stu. So I love that. That was so funny, but you are absolutely right. That's, what's that, Inception? Like, we had Stu Inception here going on. And Kid Wilkes says, if there was 5 more minutes added to the opening promo, we would have had someone talking about respecting each other. That opening promo, if you hadn't seen it, Xavier Woods actually posted as it was happening on Instagram, just making fun of how long it took for everybody to get to the ring and start talking. It's like, we're 12 minutes in and nothing has happened yet. Holy cow, that was hilarious. I don't think Xavier Woods is gonna win next week because of that. It was savage. Go check out Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods on Instagram, Twitter, everything. They are so funny and they are ruthless to the product. They say what we think. And then we got Rex Storm. Just like the tension between Roman Punk and Cody, there should be some tension between Brock and Drew. You're right. Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania WrestleMania 35, 36, the one where there was no fans, which sucked for Drew. But yeah, there should be tension there, and it's easy. That one could be dispelled with one simple sentence from Brock Lesnar or Paul Heyman, where he just says, "Yeah, it was just business. Don't worry about it. We're good. All I care about is the paycheck," because that's all Brock really does care about, or at least portrayed as. So like, that's all it has to be. And Drew could be like, "That's fine. I'm just here to get ahead too." So like, easy peasy. Their beef could be squashed by one or two sentences, but Punk, Roman, and Cody, I don't know. That was just awkward. Honestly, it was just awkward yesterday because they were, at one point, they were just standing backstage, and then the Usos came up. I'm like, why would they even be standing next to each other? Roman's not hanging out with them. So I don't know. Whatever the case may be, they at least Charlotte and Rhea, they were forced to confront each other. But yeah, I don't know why sometimes Triple H will apply story logic to people over here, but he won't apply it to the people over here, and it's happening at the same time. It's like, so I know Triple H, you understand the concept that people who were blood enemies at one point need to kiss and make up for the storyline purposes, but then you don't do it over here, and the stories are concurrently running parallel. Okay. Daniel Kinzer says, is Roman a jobber now? He's never going to be a jobber. Don't forget, Cena went like 5 years without winning one singles match. Nobody considers him a jobber. Tug Speed Man says, Roman is better off without a title. We don't want another part-time championship. Reign of Terror. Yeah, I don't want Roman winning the title again if he's just going to be this much of a part-timer. I need more dates if he wins the title. Million Matthew says, in this cheap pop era, what surprises are you predicting at Survivor Series? One of the Usos turn, LA Knight heel turn, the Usos get replaced by Cena and Orton, or CM Punk turns heel. I don't think CM Punk's turning heel. John Cena, Orton not happening. LA Knight turns heel. That would imply that he's going to be on the PLE and Triple H hates him. So one of the Usos turns heel. Probably Jay or Jimmy. Probably Jay or Jimmy. Like, there's only two of them. Jimmy. I think Jimmy turns heel. All right, boys. All right, girls. I'm very thankful for all of you, and those are your hot takes. I'll do the what we're thankful for video on Thanksgiving. So in the comments, you can write what you're thankful for, and I'll try to include those as well. See ya. Bye.